Clarity, confidence, control. This is the CCC method that I use to motivate myself to get things done. I'm gonna walk you through the writing exercise that I use when something is really bugging me and I don't know where to start and I'm stressed, feeling unproductive, and need to work through it. It literally takes less than 5 minutes to complete. Raise your hand if you've thought about something multiple times just today and it's not written down anywhere, you're afraid you're gonna forget about it and it's driving you crazy, even if it's something super small. Bonus points if you comment what it is down below. My thing is that my husband went out of town and I forgot to put the trash bins out last night. And so we have to live with the trash for another week. So just kind of down on myself at the moment. The real reason that you're stressed, demotivated, and overwhelmed may actually have nothing to do with not having your life together. You're probably just letting overthinking trick you into believing that things are worse than they actually are. In one of the best productivity books ever written, author David Allen of the book Getting Things Done has this to say. Ineffective personal organizational systems create huge subconscious resistance to undertaking even bigger projects and goals that will likely not be managed well. And that will in turn cause even more distraction and stress. So in layman's terms, because we don't know what to do with new information when it comes to us, we don't know where to put it or how to handle it, we resist taking it on in the first place. But when we have our own system that we know how it works and can input information to it so that we know how to recall it later, we're much more likely to take on new information, to be able to process it, and all of this leads to feeling more productive and more confident. There's so much to this, and there's a lot more of it in this book. We're only gonna scratch the surface today with the CCC method, but I am working on another video about how I organize my life. It has a lot to do with how I've figured out the system for inputting information so I can take on and handle and process more of it. And it has really all come together based on a combination of like 4 or 5 different books, this being one of them, and I want to unpack that further. So if you have any interest in that, make sure you subscribe to this channel. Check to make sure you've actually clicked the subscribe button. Whether or not that video sounds like a good fit for you when you click subscribe, it just helps tell YouTube that you would like to see the stuff that I put out in the future so that you can select what's right for you. The first stage is clarity. This is really important because you're probably thinking to yourself, am I really gonna write this down on paper? It feels stupid, it feels premature, it feels dumb. It doesn't matter. You need to recognize that this beautiful sheet of paper is gonna be dedicated to you working out your stuff right now. So whatever it is that is top of mind, step 1 is for you to get it out of your head and get it into the real world. So we need to write it down. So let's say that your thing is you're feeling very stressed about not having enough money coming in for your personal situation to feel a little bit more at peace, to be able to get by, to be able to pay your bills. Not enough money coming in. Need to figure out a way to diversify income. There it is. That's a really big aspect of getting clarity. It's hard enough to say out loud. It's annoying because you think it all the time, and yet you're thinking it and nothing is changing in your situation. And so we have begun the clarity process for making a change happen. Now, still in this clarity stage, we're gonna take this a step further. So number 2 is that based on this challenge, what is an outcome that would consider this marked as done? That probably feels very big. I chose a big example on purpose because I want you to flex that brain. In a single written sentence, write out your intended successful outcome for this issue. One idea could be a defined and working passive income stream on the side of my full-time job. A little bit more clarity here. This is a potential solution to the problem. It's a good step. Now, in the final phase for clarity, what is the next physical action step to take toward this successful outcome? Really, Amy, this is your groundbreaking discovery of how I'm gonna solve my problems? Yes, ma'am. Yes. It is so easy for us to stay hyper-focused on the problem. And what happens is that's what's in our head. And maybe even this solution has popped up in your head as well. The idea of, oh, I should just start a side business. I should just start a side business. Da, 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 da. And so maybe that's the problem. I should start a side business, but I don't know how. Then we have a different outcome here. If it's this, then it might be this. Regardless, whatever the track is playing in your head right now, we have to disrupt the pattern and give it something new to grab onto. So yes, if this is your example, we just need the next physical action step. It does not need to be this overarching sweeping thing that's going to change your life tomorrow, because it won't. So pretend like you have nothing else going on right now, that you don't have other responsibilities or whatever. If you had nothing else to do, what is the next thing you can control that you could do that works toward this outcome? This could go in so many different directions. You could already have an idea of what your passive income stream would be, and so this next step might be a little bit more defined. For somebody who doesn't know yet, maybe we should do a video on passive income streams, because I actually just did a segment for CNBC on this recently. So I am brushed up on that. Let me know if you want a video on it. Let's say that you've already decided what you love in the passive income world and you want to start an Etsy store where you sell downloadable printables. Then the next natural step could be create my first printable product. If that's too broad for you, that's fine. Maybe it's just start a Canva account. And then after that, you play with different printable layouts that you can use to create your first printable product. Whatever you decide to put here, try out different printable formats. Whatever might be the next natural step for you, it needs to be written down. And we're only picking one, okay? So let's just go with the simplest one. The next natural physical step for this is to start a Canva account. Now we move into confidence mode. Put your pen down. In the state of confidence, we're just gonna take this in. I've got an issue I wanna solve for, and I think I know how I wanna handle it, but I need a little bit of experience to figure it out. So here is the thing I'm going to put on my to-do list right now that I'm going to do next. Whether it's tonight after you get off work, or over the weekend when you get some free time, or when you finally get a babysitter for your kids so you can focus on yourself for 2 whole hours. I don't care how and when, but you know exactly what it's going to be. This is where you start to feel a little bit less anxiety, a little bit more confidence, because the confidence comes from execution. And when you don't know what to do next, you literally cannot reap the benefits of that confidence incoming. This is all goal achievement ever is. It's getting it out of your head and making it real in front of you. And this is simple for that reason. When you sit down to start a Canva account, dare you to stop. Like, I dare you. You're not going to. You're going to be like, okay, I got a Canva account, great. And then you're going to open a template, and then you're going to see what's pre-designed. And then you might do a little bit of research on Etsy and be like, interesting. I like the way that one looks. I could do something like that. That looks, if they could do it, I could do that too. Then you've got your next physical steps incoming. This is where the confidence state comes from. You really have a hard time wrapping your mind around feeling better when it is unclear as to what direction you're headed in. Make that direction clear. I don't care if this feels like a waste of paper. It's not. You cannot fully learn the process that you're going to go down to be able to better yourself, better your life, make your goal a reality if you don't engage with it. And that is what writing it down is all about. A lot of the stuff you see on this channel, you're going to see me handwriting something with a pen and terrible handwriting. It usually starts out strong and then it goes rogue. Not today, apparently. Even when I'm in my digital planner, I'm writing things as much as possible because that process is part of the engagement of the task, part of the engagement of learning. And that is what actually makes you absorb something. We've gotten clarity, we have a little bit of confidence to move forward, and now we need to control the process. This can't be the only thing that we write and keep track of. We have got to decide where we're going to continue to engage this project. And this, if this was your example, this is a big undertaking for a project. We need a place to put it. And as we talked about in a recent video, this is a task. It is an action item. It is something that you will do next. It is something that once you do it, you can check it off, right? I've opened my Canva account. I can check that off. A project has many of these involved and can only be checked off. This project, this outcome, these big undertakings can only be checked off after a series of many items that have been checked off. So in order to continue to feel like you have an aspect of control, which is something that is going to contribute to your level of confidence, you need a place where you keep track of your projects. This is part of the reason why I want to make that next video of how I organize my life, because you can't just have to-do lists with willy-nilly tasks. You've got to be able to look at one project at a time and the tasks that are within it. So the idea of having a task list versus a project list is a really big part of that. We're going to move into the control state by thinking about where we're going to keep track of our projects. Wherever it is that you're keeping track of your personal projects, that's what we need to understand. And by having a place for it, then, as David was saying before in the book, later, when your radar is up and someone says something about printables or Etsy or passive income, and you feel a little perked up and you hear something and you learn something in that moment, or you come up with your next idea or your next physical action step or your next thing, you're like, oh, I should research that. You have a place to go. So what you need to do now is I recommend just taking these 3 steps and putting them in a place where you want to keep track of the project. Where will you track the project? Put all of these in there and begin the process of contributing to that work as it grows. You are going to learn by engaging. You engage by curating a list and research that was generated by your own original ideas and experience. So get clarity. What's the issue? What is the best possible outcome that would make the issue checked off as done? And what is the next physical action step? Take in the confidence of knowing that this is possible and you can do it. And then have the control by keeping this in a place you know where it is, so you can always refer back to it when you're ready to engage, think about it, move it forward, and continue to add ideas to it. The simplicity of this is intended.